Hello and welcome to my channel. Oh, it's Joyce time. This is my third video in my little series, obviously in the same clothes because I'm doing it at the same time. Anyway, ignore what I'm wearing. Let's get into our reading, shall we? So what do we have today? Well, I've been going through Genesis at the moment, because I'm following these as they go now, not picking them whenever. I'm actually going with them. So this time we're on page 69. It's in Genesis 41, it says. And this one is from the pit to the palace. Right, should we get going with this one? Are you sitting comfortably? Because his brothers hated him, Joseph was thrown into a pit and left there to die. See Genesis 37, 23 to 24. But God had other plans. As it turned out, Joseph was sold as a slave in Egypt, became a servant to a wealthy ruler, and then was thrown into a pit again for a crime he did not commit. Wordsland. See Genesis 39. Ultimately, Joseph was freed from prison and ended up in the palace. Second in command to Pharaoh, the ruler over all Egypt. That's some jump, isn't it? Prison to second in command, that's a big jump. How did Joseph get from the pit to the palace? I believe that he made the journey by staying positive. Joyce speaking. Refusing to be bitter, being confident in God and trusting him. Even though Joseph was labelled a slave, he refused to have a slave's mentality. Even though he appeared to be defeated on many occasions, he kept standing up on the inside. In other words, Joseph had a right attitude. Without a right attitude, we can start in the palace and end up in the pit. This happens to a lot of people. Some people have great opportunities given to them, and they do nothing with their lives. Others may get a very bad start in life, but then overcome all obstacles and succeed. Joyce speaking. I also believe Joseph believed in the dreams God had given him. Joseph was a dreamer. He made big plans and refused to give them up. See Genesis 37, 5 to 10. The devil does not want us to have dreams and visions of better things. He wants us to stay in the pit and be do-nothings. Not likely. Joyce, I challenge you to make up your mind right now to do something great for God. No matter where you started, you can have a great finish. If people have mistreated and abused you, do not waste your time trying to get revenge. Leave them in God's hands and trust him to bring justice to your new life. Know what you want out of life and what you want to do. Don't be vague, be confident. To be confident means to be bold, open, plain and straightforward. That does not sound like a vague, sheepish, fearful individual who is uncertain about everything. Decide to leave your mark in this world. When you depart from this earth, people should know that you have been here, even if you are in a pit today. Luckily not for me. God can still raise you and do great things in you and through you. Okay, I don't feel in a pit. I feel in a palace. I'm lucky enough to have a lovely home and a wonderful craft room. Not everybody's got a nice craft room, but I do love my craft room. And in here, I read my Bibles. I colour in my Bibles. I do lots. I fill in my prayer journals, all sorts of things. And I do generally try and keep a happy heart and a happy mind. Ignore the news, ignore the papers. It's just No. My world is where I want to be, and that's where I like to be. And my world is with God. And I know he works through me. And it was him that encourages me to bring you these readings, actually. Because if I didn't have the encouragement or the Bibles, then I wouldn't bring them, would I? So my little plan in life of I'm actually writing out the Bible in whole or longhand. I read the Bible to you, or shall we say I read the extras that Joyce has put in here. I'm not reading actual Bible words. Let's get that right. I'm reading the extras to give you something to go and think about. So I hope you can think about this. You have to have opportunities. Decide whether you're going to live in a pit or a palace. I mean, it's not... Our home doesn't have big, the palace outside and millions of rooms. It's not that kind of palace. The palace is in here. This is my palace. And I'm happy with it, so I should say. Hope you've enjoyed today's reading. I shall catch up with you soon. So, do give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe. And you know what it is. It's bye-bye for now.